Good morning, witches, and welcome to this daily divination ceremony for July 31st, 2026. This is a collective divination ceremony where we ask, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? My name is Jen Marie. I am an initiated high priestess and international witchcraft educator. I founded an international resource center for neurodivergent, black sheep, cycle breaking, queerdo witches. And I'm very happy that you are here. It is Friday, so it's kind of my Monday. You know what's happening? You know what's happening right now? I'm transitioning from, I've spent the last 3 years creating curriculum so that I can do the work that I do better and help other witches also do this work so that we can make big, significant change in the world anyway. So I've been working on that, and now I'm transitioning to being more on camera like this. And in preparation for that, here at Weirdbrook, where I live in a 200-year-old, big, huge farmhouse on an 80-acre homestead. And we are transitioning. We're remodeling one of the bedrooms, one of the many spare rooms we've got going on. This one, we are transitioning, making it into a full-time recording studio so that I no longer have to do these divination ceremonies in my bedroom. So I'm kicking you guys out of my bedroom after 3 years? Kicking you out of my bedroom. And we're going to be transitioning to this full-time recording studio. Most of you know that not only do we do these live divination ceremonies, but there's a bunch of stuff that we do within the community app space that a bunch of autistic witches got together and made that we have at community.brightanddark.org. Anyway, but we also have a podcast called Wisdom in the Weave. And when I say we, I mean the other support witches at Bright and Dark Center. These are experts who have trained for years and years and years and years in specifically helping neurodivergent witches repair their relationship with their life and their magical practice. And we get together in Wisdom in the Weave, this podcast, and we answer questions about all of those things. And it's been really fun, but it's been really rough because we haven't had a space that we've been able to get a really good sound for the podcast. And this podcast is on Spotify as well as the live recording here on YouTube. And so that's happening. But we're also going to start another podcast called The Rise of the Wayward, where Morgana and I are letting everyone know what's going on with this big international movement of neurodivergent witches addressing their social conditioning and trauma from being raised within the big cappy pappy. And so, and essentially creating our own culture where we're able to thrive. And it's been mind-boggling what we've already been able to accomplish, but there are more witches on the way to help in doing this work. And it's so exciting. And like I'm always saying, there's so much going on. And so we're dedicating a whole podcast just to sharing what's going on with everything. It's an entire ecosystem that includes a deeper mystery school, a community app space, a nonprofit. It has includes a homestead. It includes all of the like so much, so much, so much. And so that's going to start as well here in the next few months. I'm almost done painting this room because it desperately needed painted. The wallpaper was probably from the 50s, 60s, and it needed painted. It needed painted. And today, in fact, is the last day of painting the walls. In fact, I'm painting the ceiling as well. And I am going to be mixing crushed Amazonite into the paint to paint the ceiling of this recording studio where we're going to be connecting with witches. And if you want to dive down that rabbit hole or make guesses as to why we chose Amazonite, why would we do that? Why would I do that as a sorceress? Why would I mix Amazonite in paint and paint the ceiling of a recording studio for this nature podcast? So that's exciting. I'm going to be doing that today. This is probably going to be the last weekend that you see me in my bedroom, because by next weekend, unless something else needs my immediate attention, we'll be in the recording studio for the first time. I'm so very excited about it. All right. So, shall we get to this? Shall we get right to it? Mm-mm-mm. And for those of you asking, my shoulder is so much better. It's so much better. So much better. Is it my internet? Am I glitching the internet again? It's kind of a thing I do. Yeah. So exciting. All right. I'm going to do what I do to get my system prepared for divination. And then we're going to do this collective divination ceremony. And then, we're going to talk about it. I know, it's so exciting. There's so much going on. And it's getting to where I need an outlet. I need an outlet to just like blah, 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 blah. And so we're going to make one. We're going to make an outlet. And you're going to get to know Morgana. I love that for you guys. I love that. Yeah, and my shoulder is better. I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I dislocated my shoulder, and it like was pinching a nerve, and I was like flat on my back for like 10 days. It was a time where I got to practice what I preach in about repairing our relationship with our bodies and showing up with compassion instead of impatience. So thanks, guys, for giving me that space. Thank you, Ocean, for jumping right in and keeping this divination ceremony going. I love it when you do that. And I think everybody else loves it when you do that too. I tell you guys all the time, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Probably all of us on the support team could probably just like do one of these divination ceremonies like this. And it's so liberating to work with like really competent witches that are just like able to shift like that. Okay, Jen, lock in. Let's go. Did I mention I have raging ADHD? I probably should. All right. Yes, lots of time to think when that happens. But when the pain is so intense that you can't even think and it's just like really loud, that was a big part of it. I'm very cerebral. Like I am big surprise. I'm in my head a lot, a lot, a lot. And I couldn't even like do that. It was a whole thing. All right, let's do this. I know Ocean does an amazing job. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and so the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space, for our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. And now we make a declaration of intention. I choose now, in this moment, to align with my whole self, to pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power. And I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour. Because I am home. All right. Already. Not distracted. I'm not distracted. There's just like really loud. Today is very loud. And, as I was going through this ceremony, I kept getting pinged to kind of go a little deeper into the fact that I don't work with witches that are like followers. My students, people that I work with and teach, it is my goal for them to be able to work at my side, right? I don't want them to become dependent on my relationship with magic or my relationship with my intuition. I want them to have a completely unique and special relationship of their own. I don't want them to mimic me. I want them to be brave enough to explore what is important to them and what their practice needs to look like, right? The way that I approach teaching witchcraft and the deeper mysteries of the occult is very different because of that. And so it makes it to where every witch in, like right now at the support team, we work as a unified like whole. We work as a matriarchy. We each bring our own unique perspective and medicine to the whole. And that relationship is also reflected in the coven that we serve. It's everyone, it's non hierarchical. So everyone is a student, everyone is a teacher, and our practice and the tradition that we practice is rooted in expansion and like continued education and community support, mutual aid. I am not interested in working with cosplay witches. I don't do fashion design anymore. I and usually it's sorted pretty quickly. The witches that are kind of ready to take it to deeper levels. I don't play in shallow waters, and you gotta be willing to be brave in order to engage with the kind of world building sorcery that I'm teaching, that we're working with here. And that usually requires witches being in a place in their life where they're done. They're just absolutely done continuing how they are continuing, and they're in a place that bravery is required anyway. And I am very much not everyone's cup of tea, and I have no aspirations to that sounds like a lot of work, and I'm busy. I'm already busy. I wanna work with witches that are willing and ready to do the thing, to look at to take radical accountability of their life and their perspective. So it felt really important to explain that. Um, and I have very big feelings that in the next 3 months, things are actually going to pick up significantly. And that it's relevant. And I love all of you that show up to these divination ceremonies. Thank you so much. This is the best. I would not do this if I didn't love it. I didn't truly enjoy showing up in this way because, like I said, I'm busy. So, mhm, mhm, mhm. Now we shuffle. And again, we're asking, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? It was such a smooth bridge. Love that. You can like feel it in my bones. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate the feedback a lot. Are we ready? Our first card. The Four of Swords upright. I'm going to, oh, yeah, I forgot. This is how we do this. Okay, so I'm going to read the prompt that's on this card so that I'm not influencing your initial interpretation of this. The upright Four of Swords is telling you to kick back and relax. Whether you're emerging from battle or you've been putting in too many hours at work, you're overdoing it and need to take a breather. A period of rest will allow you to reemerge with renewed strength and focus. And the reverse, because it's about the whole card. When reversed, the Four of Swords is sending a very strong signal that you need to take a break immediately because you're on the brink of burnout. You may be feeling the need to overdo it, but quiet that storm. If you keep going at this pace, you're going to do some serious damage. Okay. Helvy, did you get the 4 of swords too? We are so connected, I think. Love that. It's gonna be fun. I love that for you. We're in this together though. No witch left behind. Um Okay. So brew on that. What does that feel like for you? Okay. If your guides were using this card to communicate a facet of your relationship with your life, what are they talking about right now? When you're done brewing, I will influence you. Okay. It's so funny, Helby. So, mm, when you create a plan for success, right? You have a goal in mind and you are like, in order to meet that goal, I have to do this and this and this and this, right? When you create that plan, right? I'm going to knuckle down. I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to like do whatever it is that you're needing to do to reach that goal. Are you including rest and rehabilitation in that equation? In that, like, in your plan? Or are you banking on your being a robot? So you are human. And yes, you've been indoctrinated under the big cappy pappy. So you've been taught that your value is in your ability to produce, and that the goal is to be able to endure that. And that is success, right? But the problem is that you don't function like what the norm is. So your 100% is very different than other people's 100%. And you know that. You know that. Okay. So, and I mean, this feels like it's not any like new information. This is like something you've been nudged about. Um, but because you can accomplish like the amount of like 5 people, factor that into the equation so that you have time to rest and rehabilitate so that you can actually maintain that without burnout. Because burnout takes at least a year to recover physically. It affects us on a molecular level. Ask me how I know. Those like every 5-year periods of burnout because we're like masking heavily and working so hard just because we need to feel like appreciated in any way. I get it. But the thing with what you're working toward is that it's really important that you still have reserves of energy and like go for harvest, which is for the northern hemisphere, which is like right around the corner. We've actually entered the season of harvest. First harvest is what, like in the next week. So that applies spiritually as well. It's not just like agriculture. We're a lot more connected than you've been made to believe. But If you get to harvest time and you don't have any, like, anything left to, like, effectively pull in, harvest what you've worked so hard on, so much of that effort is gonna, be for naught because you're not able to actually process all of it. You didn't factor the harvest into the equation. You just factored the wanting to be successful. Does that make sense? Yeah, coming out of burnout. Burnout is so expensive. Burnout can cause permanent cognitive decline, which is it worth it? Permanent cognitive decline. You don't have to push yourself that hard, right? All right. So, your relaxation. And if you're like, I don't even know how to relax, I don't even know how to relax, right? I can't turn my head off. Then what needs to happen is you need to do the work of figuring that out for yourself. What feels rejuvenating for you? For some of us, that's going hiking, going out into nature, sitting by a pond or like something, getting out, touching grass, gardening. Um, it can be something like reading inspirational books. It could be something so not educational, inspirational. Okay. So you're not processing information. You're allowing that information to like lift you. Right. For me, one of those inspirational things is watching like recordings of flash mobs. I don't know, or choirs. I don't know what it is about a choir or a flash mob that just gets me sobbing. I love it. Find whatever it is that you uh, that your system responds to, that's going to give you uh, that rehabilitation, right? To fill up your cup a little bit. Okay. Um, does that make sense? Is that making sense? If you don't figure out some kind of way to incorporate rest and rehabilitation in your plans for the next 3 months, you're on a one-way ticket to burnout. And we need you, right? We need you. This is important for you to do this. Okay. All right. And also, okay, because the Four of Swords is also about like slowing down enough to think about things, to meditate on things. We get into that go, 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 go mode and we shut that part off, right? Because we're too busy dealing with what's in front of us. And incorporating time for you to slow down and think about where you're at, what emotions are coming up within your body. Like, what is your body telling you about what's going on? Right, that's important. Okay. Now, let's see what we're in resistance to or in denial of that's influencing our ability to do that rest and relaxation. We got the Three of Wands reversed. LV, you're right. If you want a life that has it all, you need to pace yourself. All right. Okay. So I'm going to read the prompt. This is a card. Why are you playing it safe? Stop holding back. Maybe you fell a bit short on some personal goals and now you're afraid to take another step forward. Dust yourself off and get back at it because these setbacks are an essential part of your growth. It's all part of the process, and you are indeed evolving. Be sure not to overcommit yourself. And the upright is your plans are in motion, and more opportunities are headed your way to maximize your total potential. You have the chance to expand your horizons through travel, study, or business. Reach beyond your comfort zone. Doors will open if you stop limiting yourself. This is what you're in resistance to or in denial of. I'm letting you brew. It's a good one. Are you ready for me? Am I ready for me? No. I always, 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 always have critter glitter all over my face. It's the downside of being well moisturized. And with oh, you can't see him. With that guy right there. He's cute. He's fluffy. All right. Do you believe that you're about to get real busy? Do you believe that? Do you feel it in your bones that like the pace is about to pick up? Or are you in denial of the fact that like it's go time? It's about to be go time. So what happens is we get these intuitive nudges and we're like, no, I'm just daydreaming. That's not going to happen to me. What do you mean I'm going to be busy? I don't like, I'm just sitting here at home. Right? That's like, that's too good to be true. So what ends up happening is all that time that the universe gave you to prepare, you've spent in denial of the fact that it's on the way. And so when it happens, you're stuck with this Four of Swords thing. You're heading to burnout because you didn't do the work because you were in denial of it that whole time that you were supposed to be preparing for it. You see? Yeah. What is your intuition telling you? Like, what feels really exciting, and what are you doing that is so exciting? If you imagine yourself, like, in that the life that you want, right? And this could also have been a dynamic where you tried and you kinda, like, stumbled. There was some kind of what you were seeing as a setback that is actually a course correction to line you up with what is coming, which is a lot. Right, but you thinking that that little course correction was like the end, that you failed, is also a part of this problem. You didn't fail, you locked in. It just, like, doesn't look exactly like what you thought it was gonna look like, but the logic behind it is a lot better than what you were thinking, right? Alright, guys. That is that's the thing. That's our reading. Careful not to overcommit yourself. Plan for relaxation and rehabilitation, rejuvenation. You are the advocate for your system. So making space for slowing down, thinking about what you're doing, contemplating what your experience is important. Okay. You don't want to go off the rails. Here we go. All right. So I will be back tomorrow morning at the same time, and we're going to talk about this again. Okay. Let's close out this working. Put your hand on your heart and take a deep breath. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, I now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. All right, witches. Remember, until I see you again, if you can't be good at it. Bye.